A few words about us as a company and as a product in brief. Skyvia is a product of a company named Devart. The company has been operating since 1997. We developed and launched more than 100 software products in the fields of data connectivity, productivity, database management, and data services. All these products are helping developers and other technical experts automate their daily routine, deliver faster, and deliver better. We are proud that dozens of our best customers are in the list of Fortune 100 and Fortune 500, such as AT&T, Boeing, Pfizer, Toyota, SpaceX, and others. Even though most of Devart's products are on-premise, in other words, installable software, in 2014, we took into consideration all the knowledge and experience we had by that date and decided to create a brand new and cutting-edge data integration platform. We created Skyvia. Since that day, the platform delivered value to thousands of customers. Geography-wise, we work with the whole world, but the majority of our customers are from the USA, other English-speaking countries, and Europe. Today, we're going to discuss best practices in implementing CRM backup strategy, and I'll show you how your CRM data can be backed up with Skyvia products. At the end of the webinar, I'll show you the pricing and we'll discuss killer features compared to our competitors. Let's start from the basics. Why do companies need to back up their CRM data at all? The top reasons why our customers subscribe to Skyvia Backup are a requirement of their corporate policy. When companies become mature enough, they just start caring about their data security. They want to get ISO certification or get a SOC 2 audit. A corporate backup and recovery policy is a must to get a green light here. Or they suffered from data loss. The top reasons for data loss, as we saw them, are bad code, migration, human integration errors, malicious intent, or your cloud app's failure. For instance, there is no CRM in the whole world that can give you 100% data security guarantee. Unfortunately, sometimes our customers tell us that they lost some or even all of their data because their cloud app was down. Other than that, we also recommend our integration product customers to make regular backups of their cloud apps before they run new integration packages, so that even if they made a mistake while configuring their package, they can quickly restore their data and try again. At the end of the day, the backup product is like a health insurance. You never want to use it, but when something goes wrong, you are happy that you were so forward thinking back then. There are actually two major tactics when it comes to regular CRM data backup: manual, semi, or even not automated, and advanced automated backup with a third-party vendor. Let's discuss manual data backup first. All modern CRMs allow users to export its data from the user interface. You can build reports in CRM and extract data in various formats: CSV, Excel, Google Sheets, PDF, and other formats. I bet all of you are familiar with the manual backup method, but let's discuss it in greater detail, I guess. A manual backup allows you to preserve a complete set of your CRM database and attached files that can be stored locally on your PC or laptop. This indeed provides added security against the data loss, and it's relatively free. All you need to do is to invest your time into regular manual backups. I would say this is a valid backup method until you face one of the one or several of its serious drawbacks. First is unreliability. Operating a system of your PC or laptop can just crash. Your hard disk or SSD can be lost or damaged. And this leads to just inability to restore your data in future, unfortunately. If your computer equipment is stolen, your CRM data will get to someone else's hands and can be even used against you. Lost relationships between tables. Most probably your CRM allows you to export its tables separately, meaning you will have your deals, contacts, and other tables extracted. But in case you need to restore the tables with relations, it will become a real challenge to restore not just data in tables, but their proper relationships. Inability to see changes. It's not an easy task to compare what was changed between two separate flat files, and it's almost impossible to compare your file data with the records of your CRM table. Or you can invest tons of time to compare. Bad user experience of data restoration. Even though manual data extraction is a relatively simple process, manual data restoration won't show you for sure. You will have to map every single column of your flat file with the column in your CRM every time you run the restoration. Moreover, you will have to restore the whole table even if you lost just a few records in the CRM. It's also difficult to restore records and preserve master detail and repair lookup relationships, both of which require a lot of manual work. Some big CRMs like Salesforce have a specialized tool for regular data exports. In Salesforce, this tool is called weekly export, and it has almost the same drawbacks as the manual export method. But there is one advantage, I would say. You can schedule your exports, but the weekly export can only run once a week, not daily or hourly. This means you will lose your data potentially up to 7 days worth that was changed or deleted between backups. Building your CRM strategy. Your CRM is very important for ensuring the success of your business. Of course, sales, customer success, and other teams use CRM data to process leads, convert them to customers, and stay with them at the same page along with their life cycle. You can open any record in your CRM anytime and see the full list of all iterations with your leads and customers, build dashboards, reports, and set tasks for the future, or log calls, everything. This all needed in order to be able to keep an eye on any lead or customer and maintain your company's growth at the highest level of operational efficiency. Moreover, proper CRM process give a great user experience to your customers. Any company is interested in maintaining this level of operational efficiency. Backup and recovery strategy can give even more than just a confidence that your data is secured. In fact, it gives you kind of a guarantee that nothing can tilt you out of the saddle, so to say. To avoid extensive losses and keep your business running, teams must develop adequate backup strategies that safeguard against unexpected events. While building your backup strategy, make sure you consider the following very important factors. So first is backup and recovery plan. At first, make an audit of your CRM and corporate policy. If you are still using on-prem CRM, just create a data archive in another database, or just extract files in CSV or Excel. I would also recommend you to consider moving your CRM data to the cloud, as cloud data is much more secure from natural disasters or other factors like power outages. Most businesses still prefer cloud backup services. However, there are cases when they won't fit. If your company works under severe security regulations, most probably your IT department won't allow you storing some or even all of your data in the cloud. Then it's important to ensure that your company develops a backup plan that aligns actually with your recovery plan. Include recovery point objectives and priorities, along with the recovery strategies that correlate with your business demands. For example, how soon should data be restored based on your last backup in order to keep up with your recovery plan? Everything from social security numbers to medical records to payment details are under governmental regulations, especially in the US. If such information is stored in a CRM and the CRM was hacked, it would jeopardize the livelihood of your customers. As cyber attacks rise in the healthcare industry, for example, this risk has become even greater for the recent years. Regulations like HIPAA, for instance, require exact copies of electronic protected health information to be backed up securely. Other than that, there are other backup requirements that must be followed. You need a minimum of 128-bit encryption and proper disposal of the data system according to regulation standards. Data must be stored for 6 years, and all of it must be restorable at any time. Then estimate a needed storage. Launch an audit in order to realize how much data is there in your CRM. Then check how many records you add to your CRM every month. Don't forget to consider not only objects, records, but attachments as well. The end result will give you an understanding around the total storage you will need from now on and moving forward. Some backup providers stop delivering the backup service once you reach the limit under your current subscription. So make sure you properly estimate your CRM growth. And don't forget to get an approval from your IT department as well, because some data may be under regulatory restriction, and you must be sure that you actually can back up this data. Estimate cost. Once you come up to an understanding of your monthly usage, estimate a cost. Compare the budget with all vendors offering to make sure you're choosing a tool with the best price to quality ratio, and that your financial department will actually approve the budget. All cloud backup services charge a fee, often based on the number of users, total amount of data being backed up, and the backup frequency. There might be also indirect costs associated with this new tool that you have chosen for your backups, such as those costs related to training employees who will be actually managing the new backup process and maintaining it in the future. Support from the vendor. Poor customer support from your data backup vendor will have a ripple effect on your business. You will have to bear this inconvenience caused by the operational disruption. And also downtime is, if left unattended, can have serious implications for your business. You could potentially lose like hundreds of thousands of dollars per year in the best case, I'm afraid. So choose based on the level and frequency of support you would require. For instance, certain solutions have a free support service included, while others charge a fixed rate for every new ticket. Then end-to-end protection. Recovery is actually pointless if the bad guys get their hands on your data. That's why you need to have an additional layer of security that protects your data at all times. Whether in transit or rest, your data should have end-to-end protection. Check if the backup solution comes with the industry-leading security and that it aligns actually with your security policy. Then shortlist winners. Make a short list of the solutions that successfully passed all the assessment points mentioned above. Consider the role in your company and actually the guy who will play the major role in implementing the strategy. Vendors take considerably different approaches in helping new customers, successfully adopt and deploy their solutions. In other words, just to onboard. Some simply send customers to user guides, while others require customers to engage consultants to drive costly deployment projects. Consider a solution that allows you to get up and running right away with no extra cost for doing so, like out of the box. Then test the selected vendor. Once you have selected the vendor, you need to launch at least one test backup and one restore command. Simulate a data loss and restore the deleted record back to your CRM. Today, most companies provide trial periods where teams get a sneak peek into the quality and usability of the solution. Use this time to see if the solution would be the right fit for your specific requirements. Okay, now let's move on to the platform so I can show you all ins and outs of the Skyvia backup offering. Skyvia has 4 products: Backup, Connect, Query, and Integration. During today's webinar, we'll stick to the backup product, as this tool was designed specifically for delivering a backup service. However, we will also talk about some areas of the integration product, as it actually also serves as a backup solution for some of the backup use cases. In order to start creating your first backup, just go to this backup session and click backup. This is the backup wizard. Click add new to create your first connection. This is the full list of cloud apps you can back up under the same account. There is no other tool in the whole world that can back up so many different cloud apps, in the same SaaS product. So no need to go find separate vendor for every cloud app you use for your day-to-day work. We try to collect here the most popular business applications. If you want us to support a new app and you can't find one here, just let us know and we will consider this new app when planning a new connectors roadmap. I already created a connection to a few CRMs to our test accounts, so I can just select my connection from this list. Let's select Salesforce as an example. Now we're reading data through Salesforce's API, and here we can see the full list of all objects that are available through their API, and all of them can be backed up. You can select all the objects, or you can select just some of them and back up just these objects. You can even dive deeper into the configuration of your backup package, and you can create a filtering condition. Backup supports simple filtering condition. For instance, you can select, let's say you want to backup accounts that were created starting from 1st June this year. And if you like, you can even create a group condition with and or logical operator, which, as you can understand, allow you to create very advanced filtering option for your backup. You can also uncheck certain columns if you don't want them to be included to this backup package. Okay, say we want to back up just the account table and all accounts that actually I have in my CRM, in my Salesforce test account. Then we hit next step, and we go to the scheduling option. You can schedule your backups to run automatically up to once per day. So actually, no need to go log in every single time you need to run. You need to create the backup, but actually you can. So you can schedule your backups to run automatically, but also you can log in anytime to Skyvia and run the backup manually. Then we need to name our backup. And save it. Actually, that's it. The backup package is ready. Once we click save, we can run the backup package, and Skyvia will start reading data from test Salesforce accounts and storing it to our Azure instance located in California data center. So it's now been backed up. Okay, I guess, yeah, the backup is ready. I think we can find a backup package with some track record, so I could show you some history and how it looks when you have a few snapshots in your backup. So you can see here that I created backups every single day, starting from I don't know when even. You can actually open any, so these are snapshots, and you can open any snapshot and see how many records it includes. You can even open this table, in this case it's opportunity, and see it in table format. You can even open any record and see details of this record. And please note that we keep relations of objects. So if you want to say backup opportunities that have relations to contacts and accounts, we will preserve this relation, and you can restore these records, keeping these relations. This is how our activities tab looks like. And also an important thing for some of our users is that you can extract any snapshot in a CC file. So I have just hit export, and I've just downloaded the CC version of this snapshot. Our restoration functionality works automatically, meaning there is no need to find corresponding tables in the app, map fields, make sure duplicates are not created, and everything. You can restore data simply by opening a snapshot, selecting records or whole object, and then clicking the restore button. So we have just selected the opportunity table, and once I hit restore, you can see that these DML statements are available. So I can insert, update, or delete records. If you need, you can even find some certain record inside your backup package. And by the way, you can also restore just one record with the same process like I have just shown you with the whole table. If you like, you can find some certain record by typing any value from its row. So you can see that we have just filtered out all the records that include John in one of the columns. So you can find it by part of its name, address, phone, etc. Also, actually, there is an auto clean option, which is very handy. It's here in storage details in accounts section. If you reach the limit of your subscription one day, you can enable this option, and it allows you to keep more available space, because Skyvia deletes the oldest snapshots to free some space in your account for new ones. So actually, you can configure the whole process, and even and don't log in to check whether the backups are going as expected, because we will be cleaning the old snapshots, and you will be creating, and Skyvia will be automatically creating new snapshots in your account. There are also user notifications. You can enable notifications, so we will notify you once you hit a certain threshold, or in case of any error, you can specify to which email address we will be sending this these error notifications. So I think it's a high time we move on to the pricing. So the price logic is based on the storage size. As you can see in the standard plan, you can have 20 gigabyte storage. In professional, 200 gigabyte. In enterprise plan, 1 terabyte. Unlike other SaaS backup tools, Skyvia doesn't have any limits as for the number of users in your CRM org or number of different CRM accounts you connect. The highest level of security is available out of the box. As we discussed, there is also another product of Skyvia that offers CRM backup. I'm talking about the data integration product. It has 6 different data integration scenarios: import, export, replication, synchronization, data flow, and control flow. But in some cases, export serves as a very handy backup solution. Let me show it to you. So the main difference between export and backup is that the backup product, within the backup product, we store your data to our own Azure storage only. And yes, it's fully secured and everything, but you cannot select the storage, and you cannot, for instance, download the the backups to your local premises. Although we have some customers who need their data to be backed up and stored locally, and to satisfy this need, they select the export scenario of the integration product. It allows you to set up automated data exports from your CRM with either automatic upload to one of the supported file storages, like these guys, or you can create the manual method and as a result get a link to your CSV file and just export it and store it locally. But if you configure your export package and you can also create automatic a rule for automatic launches, and we can automatically extract data from your let's say Salesforce, like discussed in the previous within the backup, and automatically upload to one of the support file storages. I can select the Google Drive and place these CSV files there. You can also select the folder to which you want to push your data to. So the next step is to create a first export task for your export package. Here you should select the object that you want to export from Salesforce in my example. Let's select account. Then, like with the backup, you can create a filter condition. You can create as well. You can create group condition as well. And also, if you need, you can compress the resulting CSV file to zip or gzip, and you can even specify the target file name for this resulting CSV file. Here we can, for instance, if you need, we can just change names of the columns in the resulting CSV file or change their order. Actually, that's it. If you want to add more objects to the same export task, you can add them here, selecting, I don't know, contacts or some other table, and go the same path. As well as with the backup solution, the export packages can also be scheduled for automatic execution. You can run exports on a certain day of the month, week, or at a certain time daily. Then we hit create run, save the package, and run the export package. And when it comes to data restoration, you can just create an import task again inside Skyvia, and import data from this CSV files that you have been collecting with the export, and write data back to your CRM. And like with the manual imports from the UI of your CRM, Skyvia's import scenario allows you to create an import package once, and the UI will be pretty same as for the export, but with mapping. Save it and perform restoration when you need it. Manual import from CRM's user interface will require you to create import tasks every time you need to restore your CRM data. So with the export, you can just create a local FTP server and collect your CSV files there. And once Once you need, you can just find the proper CSV file and write it back to your CRM using Skyvia's import scenario. As a source type, you can here select CSV, upload manually, or select it automatically from one of the file storages. Actually, there is another one very important and useful feature that, that I want to uncover today. I'm talking about CRM data archiving, because it often comes together with backup needs. Let me quickly show you how to create your first data archive. In our terminology, we call this scenario replication, because it's the perfect choice for creating a full replica of your cloud of data, of course, CRMs as well, to relational database or data warehouse. You select your CRM, then you select your data warehouse or database. You can see the full list of all the databases and data warehouse available here. A cool thing about the replication package that can serve as a data archiver is that there is no need to create tables. You can see here the option of create tables. You can just click it and we will create tables in the exact way as they are in your CRM and replicate everything, keeping the relations to database or data warehouse. You can drop tables if there is some data there, meaning in your target database, and you can run the replications incrementally, meaning there is no need to run all the records every single time you run the replication package. You can just replicate only changed records since the previous package run, as well as with the backup and the export and other scenarios. You have to select actually the object that you want to replicate, and that's it. We just hit save and then click run, and we will replicate all the accounts that I have in my Salesforce instance to my Google BigQuery data set. And speaking of pricing, all of the integration scenarios that you would need for backup or data archiving are under the same pricing plans, meaning you subscribe to one plan and all of the use cases are available for you out of the box. Different pricing plans of the integration product mostly differ on the number of records you need to integrate per 1 month and the complexity of the integrations. For the backup and archiving, you will be fine, I guess, with even the basic plan. As you see here, the plan gives quite a broad selection of the tiers that are based on the number of records you need for your integrations. And what can you do after you archive your, let's say, Salesforce data to a local database? Actually, you can use it in your Salesforce. We have a specific tool for that. You can, if you have Salesforce Connect subscription, you can create an OData endpoint to the data you store somewhere locally or in a data warehouse, and then create an endpoint, and there on the Salesforce side, select this endpoint as a data source. And as a result, you will see all these tables as external objects inside the user interface of Salesforce, based on my example, or maybe your CRM also supports OData as a data source. So this is the OData endpoint wizard. It's also pretty simple. We just select the account, the table that we want to push through the endpoint. We can configure security, restrict access to certain IP addresses, or create a username and password, and endpoint mode. So you can not only read data from the endpoint, but also write. That's it. You can just paste this, copy this endpoint and paste it to the app that can consume OData endpoints.